I go for breakfast every afternoon. The coffee's rubbish and the bacon's always hard to chew, and the toast is always soggy, but I hardly notice. And the food takes such a long time to get made, even when I'm the only person in the cafe. And my table's always wobbly, but I hardly notice. You're probably thinking, why would I even bother reading there on a daily basis? There's heaps of other places on offer. When I'll change to another place if the bacon is rubber.
So we have discovered that, you know, you're an adult, you leave Magic Mountain at 7 instead of at closing because you're in pain and you're old and it's not that fun anymore. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw a straight line without a ruler. When you go to art school, it's kind of frowned upon to be using a ruler, and I know it sounds really weird, but a ruler is ultimately a waste of your time unless you're trying to get really, really fine details. So, I'm going to use a pen, but I'm also going to use a pencil so you can see that you can do it with anything that you use. It's fairly simple. It does take practice. Alright. So, when you're drawing, you never want to draw towards yourself. So, like, obviously, it's, you know, it's not straight, but it's straightish. I do that towards myself. You do not want to draw like that. Alright. It's also my first time using Copic multi-liner pens, and so far, I'm not enjoying this pen. I'm going to switch over to a different pen with a bigger tip. This is a brush pen. We don't want to use this. Alrighty. I'm going to be using a Copic multi-liner black 0.5 pen. Excuse my voice if it sounds different. That is also why I inserted a video of my fun day of going to Six Flags today for my brother's birthday. My voice is kind of shot, to be completely honest. But yeah. So, you never draw towards you, big fat no-no. You always draw away from you. So obviously that's not straight, but that's more straight than this. If I draw towards me, not straight. Your wrist automatically goes up. It does not go down. Putting it down towards you is actually straining your wrist. Never draw towards yourself, it just strains your wrist. Your wrist automatically, it's just naturally, it goes up. So, everybody has a different wrist, obviously. You can tell that I just drew straight, but in a diagonal. So, what you want to do is figure out what's comfortable. So, if I draw straight, doesn't, but if I go like that, that's straightish. So, if I turn my paper, or in apparently my tripod, if I turn my paper, not my wrist, I keep my wrist natural, comfortable, turn my wrist, or keep my wrist straight actually, turn the paper, you draw, that's going to draw a straight line. Obviously, if you're trying to draw a straight line going up this way on the paper, you don't want it going that way. So I'm going to turn my paper a lot of bits this way. Hang on, to my tripod so you guys still get the view. So I want to draw going up the paper. That did not work. So I'm going to keep turning it until I find which way is the most comfortable to draw a straight line. That's actually the most straight. So if I want to keep doing that, you just have to practice. So I figured out the way my paper turns. I'm going to give you guys a new paper. So I figured out which way is best for my wrist. So if you notice, every time I draw, it's straight. The paper itself is not going down straight. It's going towards this way. So that just means I need to turn my paper just a little bit this way. So that when I draw a straight line, it's eventually going to get straighter. You just have to figure out which angle. As you see, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, there we go. So, apparently my angle is this way. So you just want to keep drawing just straight lines. They're getting straighter. If I draw it towards myself, like I said, it's not necessarily going to work. They are straight-ish, but they're not the straightest as some of these. Actually, those do look straighter, but that's not the point. You don't ever want to draw like that. So, just drawing straight lines. I figured out my angle. Every single line is coming out straight. Those are short lines. Once you start with short, you want to go into longer lines. So I'm going to start from here. Now you can see that they are getting straighter. They are getting longer. It just takes practice when you start going longer. And then if you want to start doing criss hatch, or cross hatch actually, just gotta turn your paper again. You guys are gonna have like half of an angle just because my tripod is set up differently. I'm using a different camera this week because I am currently at my boyfriend's father's house. I'm going to be back at my original house starting tomorrow, and then moving hopefully in officially 2 weeks. So I'll have all my gear ready, all my camera equipment, everything unpacked and ready. I'm going to take you guys on like an art tour of my new art studio that's inside of our house. I'm super excited to have like my own personal space that is just for my art. It's very important as an artist to separate like your natural life from your art world, because if you're doing all of your art inside of your bedroom or your living room, wherever you do art, and that's the same place that, you know, you dress, you sleep, you eat food, you watch TV, hang out with friends, it doesn't help your mind focus. So if you have a place of your own that your brain can just automatically know, this is art mode, this is where I can focus, it's a very natural routine, it makes your art a lot better. Obviously, you can be the most skilled artist in the world, but you still need a routine. But alright, off of my rant, back to drawing. So I'm gonna cross hatch it. So they're not the straightest lines because my paper is not turned the natural way for my wrist to do this. But as you can see, this line is actually pretty straight right here. If you just keep doing this every single day, eventually drawing a straight line is gonna be perfect. You're gonna know your angles of the paper to turn it so that it's straight on the paper. Same way with doing that is every day for, you know, say 2 minutes. Set yourself up a timer, just 2 minutes drawing circles every single day. It's very important to know how to draw a circle in a straight line because art, as most people will tell you, is geometry. It's just shapes and basic math in a sense. So you're just gonna practice drawing circles. It's very important, like I said, to know how to draw a circle. So I got a circle. The more you do this, starting out small. So let me explain the basics to drawing a circle is you never want to draw a circle where you're moving your wrist. So if I am moving my wrist, you know, it's pretty decent, but it's straining your wrist a lot. As an everyday artist, you want to learn the basic techniques to be able to draw properly because it also saves your hand from strain, because most artists, after a long time of doing this, arthritis does happen in your hand. So if you learn the techniques that are very natural flowing for your hand, it creates less strain and you have more lifespan on your hand. Every artist at one point in their life, they are going to get arthritis in their hand. It's a very sad reality, but that's just, you know, it's normal. You're doing a lot of strain work on your hand. So just, you know, natural movements with a circle and a pen. So there you go. Just very natural. So with the pencil, obviously you can fix that, but the more you practice, the more you're gonna get a perfect circle. So even just doing this for 5 minutes without moving your wrist, you're gonna be able to get a circle. So just drawing. Try doing little ones, then medium ones, back to little. Doesn't really matter if you overlap on the paper because you want to conserve your paper. I am using the paper pad that I used in my last video that I did a review on. I'm not too fond of it, so this paper is honestly just gonna be my expensive. I just did that completely wrong. You saw me move my wrist. This paper is just gonna be like my little like swatch pad when I'm doing art. Now that I'm getting lower, I'm actually like getting closer to like my chest. You generally want to move your paper up so that you're keeping your, farm natural, so that's why my circles are getting worse as they go lower. I obviously cannot move my paper because my tripod is actually exactly right here. So because of that, I can't move it. So just very natural circles. I'm not moving my wrist. It's very, very natural. So with a pencil, what you can do is, how do I, okay, here we go. Sorry, I never use this, so I didn't know how to work it. So when you're drawing with a pencil, you can just do this a million times if you want, and then just start, oh, this eraser is awful. Let's go to this eraser. Wow, this eraser is pretty bad too. Oh, okay. You can just like erase around it once you notice where your perfect circle is. That, it does take a million seconds, obviously, to be erasing and making it perfect and not having lines. So that's why you want to practice every single day drawing a straight line in a perfect circle. That way you don't have to erase, you don't have to use a ruler. It saves you a lot of time. So as you see, I got like, you know, my basic semi-perfect circle. It's not the best because my workspace at the moment is not the best. But those are two basics that you need to know as an artist. You don't need to be the best at doing it, but every day, as long as you practice that, this will get better and your art will get 1,000 times better. It's something that sounds super, super silly. I was super against when I heard this because I'm a self-taught artist and eventually caved and went to art school because I knew I could get better connections and everything I needed in art school. And I ended up doing that. I actually learned so much in art school. Like, you would be insane the amount of stuff that you learn that makes your art and everything you do a lot easier. Honestly, go to your local community college. There's 2 classes I would recommend taking. Take Rendering 101, or whatever the number it's going to be. It's the basic rendering class, and take Life Drawing. Both of those classes will teach you the basics on how to color, how to make things look more lifelike, how to figure out how to draw things more simpler instead of, you know, drawing a person and having to, like, you know, oh, here's their head, and then you have their neck, and then their shoulder, and their arms, and all that stuff. That is not how you want to draw. If you're drawing a person, you always do the inside of their body. You draw inside out. So if you're just sitting straight in front of me, I'm just going to draw my center line, which is right here. That's telling me where you're at, and then your head is kind of going to be, you know, around this area. You know, I know there's gonna be a shoulder right here, and then using basic geometry, I'm just gonna draw a triangle. This is going to be your hips right here. That's how I would know where it's at. And then, you know, your leg would come out right here, drawing a leg down. This is a joint for your knee. Here, you know, if you're just in front of me, that would be another joint. And then arms, you know, however you have them, if they're going up in the air, another joint, your arm going there. You learn how to do that, and then you start building on how to, you know, make it into an arm. And then you got, you know, your waist and all that stuff. You learn like the basics, and they're super, super helpful. Obviously this isn't the best because I'm actually coming up out of my head on how to do this. There's no one in front of me, obviously. So there's that. But honestly, take it like, you know, local community college class. It honestly super, super helps. My next video, I'm planning on reviewing this beginner manga book. It's by Sonia Leong. I went to Blix and I bought this for $20 without my discount. With my discount, it came out to be like, you know, I think like $15. If I had my receipt, I would show you. But I'm going to do a review on it to see if this is actually useful, if this does help beginner manga artists, because I am an illustrator. I do character designs. I'm currently making my own video game. I would love to post more about my video game on this channel, but unfortunately at the moment, like, obviously I can't because of copyright issues and not wanting my work stolen by other people that are awful people that steal people's work and don't work for themselves. I've unfortunately had that happen to me more than once, and a million other artists have had the same thing happen to them. Hey, this is actually what I was just talking to you guys about. But yeah, so next week the video is going to be on this. I'm going to be reviewing it. I'm going to be doing some basic drawings from this to see if it works. I'm going to forget everything I've ever learned in art school just to see if this works for someone that doesn't know the basics and all that stuff. But alrighty guys, on my last two videos and this video, I do have the giveaways for the Copics. I have the entire violet Copic markers. I am going to be giving those away. I have the entire set that is right here. These are 18. And then I have the grays, not this entire set. It's mainly just the classics, which is 4 in this one, and then there's gonna be more classics that are in this set that I'm giving away. Those are going to be both winners. This is one winner, and then this is gonna be 2 winners. I don't have all of the markers right here because they're in a box, but those are the giveaways. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel for an extra entry. You know, go on my Instagram, follow it, just let me know. So there's that. If you want to get really creative, you know, tag your friends in this, see if they can subscribe. That would be great, because the more subscribers I get, the more art materials I'm going to go out and buy to give away for giveaways, because I really believe in artists supporting other artists, because our community is very expensive and it's really hard to get art materials. So when you have people willing to give out art supplies, I think that's freaking amazing. It's always amazing to give back to others because it really does help. But yeah, thanks for subscribing to my video, or my channel actually, and everything I'm doing. I hope you enjoy this little mountain that I'm building. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!
I know